Hey, Tweet, what's going on, man? You ready to talk about some free agents?
What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, absolutely, bro.
Yeah, man. Whole bunch of signings. There was one right before we're starting this tonight that we got to talk about first. And as
Uh,
Cowboy fans, I know we were hoping that we'd sign Von Miller, right?
Not for the price that he just went to Buffalo
Yeah, so he
for.
signed with Buffalo for 120 million over 6 years. 45 million guaranteed at signing. Whew.
That's a lot of money for a guy who was hurt what 2 years ago. Came back, played well, aging superstar. In my opinion, has lost a step.
Turns
I mean, he's
33.
still
Bro, he
pretty
turns
good.
33 here in a couple days, and they paid him 45 million guaranteed, I think is the key number. 120 million over 6 years. By far the highest paid free agent
Well,
so far.
I think it's like I think it's like a lot of it's backloaded though, so they may not, or in guarantees. I was reading a little bit about it before we got on, and like that it works out for both of them, the team and the
Right.
player.
So I kind of assumed that
So
much that 120 million for a 33-year-old player over 6 years is probably a lot. But that so I wanted to know the guarantee. 45 million guaranteed at signing is the highest of anybody this free agent season as well. So it's not just the 120 million, but the 45 guaranteed at signing is the most too.
yeah, yeah.
Insane.
I, I mean, I it's hard to give Von Miller a bad grade, man. But I mean, or Buffalo a bad grade for getting Von Miller, but
So
for the
wait. Let
price
me let
they
me let
paid,
me
bro,
ask you this, Tweet, before you give it a grade. Say you as a Cowboys fan, right? Say the Cowboys just signed him for 120 mil over 6 years with 45 million guaranteed, and he's 33 years old. What grade would you give the Cowboys as a Cowboys fan for that?
retarded.
That's kind of where I was at. Like, I'm probably gonna give him like a D. Just and the only reason it's a D is because it's Von Miller.
Von Miller. Yeah, I agree. I'm not. I think he's still a key asset. Like he's going to be a difference maker, but is he $120 million difference maker anymore? I think he's kind of past that.
120 mil, 45. All right, so the second biggest contract. Let's talk about that. I gave him a D. Tweet. What grade did you end up giving it? An F, a D, a C, A,
I'll go D minus, bro.
D minus. I graduated a few high school classes with D minuses. Man, you get out of there, you know.
Hey, Buffalo might graduate to a Super Bowl with a D minus, bro.
All right, so J.C. Jackson signed with the Chargers. We talked about this one a little bit on stream on Monday. $82.5
Right?
million, $40 million guaranteed at signing. Second most total dollars added, second most guaranteed at signing dollars for the Chargers.
I think he deserves his money, and also with the other free agent that they picked up this week. We'll talk about that in a minute, I'm sure. But I think they needed to shore up that back end, and I think that's a good signing. I mean, you had to pay J.C. Jackson, bro. He was a solid corner last year, and I think it was a good pickup for Los Angeles.
So I'll ask this, and this is the question I asked Monday night on our stream: was what Patriots corner was good after they left the Patriots? Belichick, no doubt, has a golden finger, golden thumb, whatever you want to call it, golden touch, the Midas touch when it comes to corners. Like they have had good corner after good corner after good corner, and then they leave,
I
and
mean, boy, they even had a wide receiver playing corner that was
Troy
solid.
Brown was that dude, man.
You know,
So like that worries me and would worry me if I'm a Charger fan. Having said that, J.C. Jackson is pretty damn good. Has been good to this point. Is probably worth that money. I would give it a B, and the only reason I'm not giving it an A is because it is a lot of money. What do you
right?
What do you
And
think, Tweet?
man, I'm right behind you at the B. You took it out of my mouth,
Yeah.
man.
What? Why not an A?
Same reasons, man. It's a high price, but I mean, clearly they have the cap money with their other signing. You know what I mean? So they've got the money to play with, man. I don't know what it does to them in the long term. I haven't really looked into that, but for this coming season, I think it's a great pickup.
I'll say the one thing that they have a good quarterback on a rookie contract, and I think that yeah, it's been said all over the place. But you got to strike while the iron's hot, while you got those quarterbacks on rookie deals. Yeah, I think that's what
Right.
they're trying to do with a lot of their signings. And like you said, we'll talk about
Yeah.
the other later.
Because Herbert's gonna get paid.
So moving on from that, let's talk about the third most money. Christian Kirk got $72 million from Jacksonville. I said Arizona the other night for some reason. I was definitely wrong. Jacksonville paid him $72 million, $37 million guaranteed at signing. So that averages out to $18 million a year for Christian Kirk. What do you got?
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I haven't watched many Cardinals games recently, and I've seen highlights here and there of Christian Kirk. But is he as good as advertised, man? Because I don't see it, man. I
Hold on. Let me pull up his stats. I will say he's 25, so he is very young, and that's I think you got to include that in it. He's always had a solid
maybe,
quarterback, right? So
maybe it's me, man. Like I said, I haven't watched many Cardinals games, but he doesn't strike me as a difference maker who's going to go to Jacksonville and make Trevor Lawrence any better. You know what I
right.
mean?
So 2001, 982 yards, 5 touchdowns on 77 catches. Year before, 621, 6 touchdowns on 48 catches. 709 the year before that on 68 catches, 3 touchdowns. I don't feel those are
And
special numbers.
I'm going to say this too, bro. This wide receiver class in the draft is
And
deep,
fast.
like and fast, and I feel like they could have saved their money or used it elsewhere and come away solid at receiver from the draft.
So to play devil's advocate with you, you got a quarterback coming into his second year, struggled his first year, didn't have any weapons, right? In that, other than their running back in Jacksonville, like you got to get him something, right? So like, are you going to put all your all world quarterback that you're hoping he is, number one draft pick? You're going to put all those hopes and dreams into a rookie wide receiver, or do you go out there
Not
and you
necessarily,
think he's the best wide receiver on the market, and so you're going to pay him whatever it takes?
bro. Did Jacksonville not inquire about an Amari Cooper for a fifth and a sixth round pick? Like, come on, man. So I mean, I guess that's a lot of money to pay Amari Cooper, but I mean, you just gave it to Christian Kirk. Now, who's the better receiver?
Christian Kirk was free though too, whereas Amari Cooper was going to cost you a fifth. Now, was Amari Cooper worth a fifth for similar money that Christian Kirk is getting? Probably, but at the same time, was Amari
So,
like hell no when inquired about
what are you going to
Jacksonville? Yeah,
Jacksonville? I mean, does he get a say? Like,
probably doesn't get one officially, but like I'm sure Jacksonville
I
could
mean,
call him up and be like, "Hey,
you want to come to Jacksonville? And he's like, no.
hell no!" And then are you going to offer up that same stuff? Whereas Christian Kirk chose to go there.
But I feel like I mean, was Amari Cooper's desired destination Cleveland though? I mean, I don't necessarily feel like that's a fucking shining star either. I mean, and you, I'm just gonna say this about Cleveland too. Did you see Baker Mayfield's tweet the other night about thanking the Browns fans and stuff? Like,
That's
what
what
is
he
he?
was saying. He said, "Deuces, I don't want to be here anymore either.
I mean, are we? What are we doing?
I
So
want out. Y'all want me out.
that'll be
Let's get
interesting.
out of here."
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays
Yeah,
out.
man. All right, so Christian
'Cause
Kirk,
I feel like Baker's
Christian
solid.
Kirk, I'll give that signing a C, and I'll give it a C because he's young. The wide receiver free agent class isn't all that strong with Adams and Gallup off the market, So I'll give it a C. That they're trying. You know what I mean? They're trying to get him some weapons. I see what they're doing. It cost a lot of money though.
I I don't think Christian Kirk is a difference maker, man. I think they gave a lot of money to a role player, and I'm going to go D on this.
All right. Got to see it at D. We disagree the first time. Let's move down to one that hits me right in my feels, and I'll talk about this one first. Randy
I'm
Gregory.
gonna give this. Oh,
Randy Gregory, $70 million over 5 years, 28 guaranteed at signing. Not a huge contract. Um, so if you didn't hear about Randy Gregory, he agreed to a deal with the Cowboys. Pretty similar money. I think it was $1 million less guaranteed, if the rumors are to be believed. Supposedly, his agent went to put together the contract. The Cowboys put language in there that if he got suspended, that he would lose his guaranteed money. And Randy Gregory found out about this. And this is a quote. I know I cuss way too much, but this is a quote. But supposedly he said, "Fuck them." And if I was shown two contracts, one that was going to take my money away if I got suspended, and one that wasn't, like, fuck them. I'm going to go with the ones that aren't.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and I'll give you a grade before I let you talk, Tweet, because I think this is a great signing for Denver. I think the money is not much. Randy Gregory's 29, but his body really isn't a 29 because he missed so much time for drug reasons.
One season, one season since he's been
Yeah,
drafted.
so I'm going to give them an A for the signing, especially because they snatched him from us. They went in and were like, well, fuck them then. Come over here, sign this deal. We won't put those. We won't take your signing bonus and all that. So I think it's an A signing. I think it's a great signing for them, and sucks for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely an F for the Cowboys. Um, I but at the same time, man, at the same time, how many chances did the Cowboys give Randy Gregory? Because Randy Gregory could have been out of the league 3 years ago, and nobody would have he wouldn't have been an afterthought in anybody's mind. You know what I mean? And the Cowboys stuck by him, and they even gave him an extension to keep him here.
So,
So
are you signing that
it's
contract with the language in it that's going to take away your millions and millions of dollars?
no, I'm absolutely not. And I'm not saying Randy Gregory's in the wrong, or he should have signed our contract. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, I understand where the Cowboys are at as well. With, hey, we've invested a lot into this guy and only gotten a year's play out of him. Yeah, that year he was pretty damn good last year. You know what I mean? Like, but Dorrance Armstrong was pretty damn good too when he was on the field. So we'll see, man. I I had my pick of getting DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy Gregory back, bro, I probably would have taken Randy Gregory, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you. So it sucks because I wanted Gregory back.
Especially Randy's at
But
14 per year, and we got Tank
I
for 10 per year.
right. So I see what Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the Dallas Cowboys were trying to do. Protect themselves from obviously Gregory's had issues in the past, but it was mainly for marijuana suspension. So now the NFL is not testing for marijuana, right?
Supposedly that language
But
is in all of our players' contract except for Dax. Supposedly,
really, so,
I
huh?
don't know. Give me a grade, man.
Well, bro, for the Broncos, I'd say B.
Why not an A?
Um, because Randy Gregory hasn't played like one complete season, bro, in what, 6 years? So we'll see, man. We'll
Maybe
see.
he's not as good as he looked this year, huh?
It's kind of the wild card, and not only that, bro. Randy Gregory made a lot of boneheaded plays last year that us as Cowboys fans even let slide sometimes because he was a disruptor. You
He
know
did
what I
make some
mean?
stupid
But
plays. I agree. Yep.
there were plays in the playoff game where he jumped off sides and gave the 49ers a first down. You know what I mean? And it's just things you can't do, if you want to be a good football team. So, it's a good signing for the Broncos, bad loss for us, but at the same time, I get it for both sides.
Right. All right. So let's move on to the next one. I gave it an A. You gave him a B. Marcus Williams signing with Baltimore from the Saints. $70 million, 37 guaranteed. That's 14 a year. Marcus Williams, I don't know how old he is. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll tell you right now, though. But I'll let you talk on this first. He's 25 as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a good pickup, man. I'm not sure. I mean, has anybody else been signed? Like, who else has been signed, like, position wise, like, comparable to what he's getting?
Safety wise, let me see if I can find the next highest paid safety. DJ Reed for 33.
Like,
Justin Reed for 31 with 20 guaranteed. So he a significant amount more than the next closest.
I mean, I think Baltimore's doing the right thing though, man. Get you a defense. That's what they're built on, you know. And they made another big signing today that I'm sure we'll get to that one as well. But I think they're doing the right thing, man. Put a defense there so Lamar doesn't have to go, you know, out there and use his legs
So
to
give me a grade.
get hit. Yeah. Go
A
C, man.
C? Because it's a lot of money. Is that why we're going C?
I think it is a lot of money for a player who wasn't really a huge difference
Wasn't a
maker.
world
I
beater.
don't think.
Yeah, I think I like a C for him as well, mostly for the same reasons. He is young and he has played well. I feel like free safeties kind of are not as in demand like the in space safeties. If he were more of the hybrid type that are actually pretty good in the league now that can do both, like I feel like Marcus Williams is kind of a one trick pony. So I give it a C. It's a lot of money. Maybe it's worth it. We'll see. So let's move on. Chandler Jones leaving the Cardinals, going to the Raiders, $52.5 million, 34 guaranteed. What are your thoughts on that?
Now tell me, how old is Chandler
32.
Jones? So it's not Von Miller money, but I mean it's a lot of money. But I actually like this pickup for Las Vegas. The reason being is because you've already got a stud on the other side, man. Put somebody else. You know what I mean? Because you can't double them
Mm-hmm.
both. So I like this pick with
His
Crosby on
pick,
the other
I left
side.
out that it's a 3-year deal for 52.5. So he's making 17.5 a year. Von Miller's making 20. So he's not that far behind.
Right. What I say, it's not quite Von Miller money, but I like what the Raiders are trying to do, man. They're trying to pressure the quarterback, and you know, with Mahomes and Herbert and now Russ in that division, man, you got to have somebody that's going to get after the quarterback, and I kind of like what Vegas is doing here. I'd probably go with a B here, although it is a lot of money. I think it's a solid pickup for Las Vegas.
I'm going to go against you here, and I'm going to give them a D. And the only reason it's not an F is because it's Chandler Jones, and he has had good years. The reason that I'm going to give it a D is like I don't like signing players on downswings, and Chandler Jones is without a doubt on a downswing. So the way I feel about it is like you're paying all that money, $34 million guaranteed for. Does he have a good year left in him? 1 good year left in him? Maybe. You're hoping he has 1 good year. Does he have 3 good years left in him? I highly doubt it. You know, he was never the fastest guy anyway. So, like, I feel like his skills are going to diminish quickly. So, I could be wrong, but like I said, like just as a belief, a personal belief, I don't like signing players on downswings. And I also think that he's the first player on this list that is on a downswing. Maybe Von Miller. Who knows? Von Miller, the way he closed out last year, he didn't look like he was on a downswing, but he might be. But I didn't like paying Von Miller that much money either. So,
and Von Miller was the same kind of deal that Chandler Jones is getting right now, too.
And I gave them a D.
You send him there, all of a sudden Von Miller can't get doubled, right? When he was in LA last year, because you got Aaron Donald there, you can't double Von Miller now. So it's maybe it'll help Chandler Jones, man, not being that guy. You know what I mean?
Absolutely could. It absolutely could. And like I said, you're hoping you get a good year out of him. Are you going to get 3 good years out of him for that $34 million guaranteed? I don't know. Here's one I like. And Brandon Scherff leaving Washington, going to Jacksonville for $49.5 million, $30 million guaranteed at signing. I like this signing. I think Brandon Scherff is one of the better guards in the league. You have, as we talked about earlier, you have your hopes and dreams pinned on Sunshine at quarterback. You got to protect him. You get a good guard, if not a great guard, for $30 million guaranteed at $16.5 per. You've got plenty of cap room. I give them an A+ in the signing. These are the signings Jacksonville has to make. What do you think?
Now, I agree. It's a great pickup. Scherff was hurt last year?
I'm
Was
pretty
he
sure he
not?
was. Yeah, he's 30, by the way.
Yeah. So I mean, coming off an injury, I mean, I'm not sure. I feel like it was like something serious, knee or something. So I mean, eh, it's less impactful, I guess, on those O linemen who aren't out there making cuts and doing things as a receiver and using their speed. So I don't feel like it will necessarily hinder him coming off an injury as much as it would a skill
Right.
position. So so I absolutely agree with you. I think you got to protect your investment in your number one overall pick and your quarterback and uh, you get your running back in Etienne, who was also hurt
Mm-hmm.
last year that they drafted. You know, and you need Scherf's also a great run blocker. So I think it's a good pickup, man. I'd probably go A on this.
You got to protect that young quarterback. Jump from that to Jacksonville's next signing, a linebacker. I'm not even going to try to say his name. Foye is what everybody calls him, though. Linebacker from Atlanta. I think he's a good player. He's 26, 45 mil, 3-year, 45 mil, 28 guaranteed a signing. I feel like that's to get a leader for your defense like that. That's a definitely an acceptable price. I'm not big on paying linebackers a ton, but it's a short deal. On a team that has cap space, and you get a good leader for your defense. I give this one an A too. I like what Jacksonville's doing. They're trying, man. They're trying.
So here's my thing though. I like Miles Jack, bro, better. And they just let Miles Jack walk. So
I don't think I like
I
Miles
don't
Jack
know.
better. I think he's on a
Yeah.
downswing too. I think they made the right move, moving for Miles. If they could have kept them both, that would have been nice.
I think Miles Jack was the best player on a bad team, bro. And and I still think he's got some years left in the tank. And I think he's a solid linebacker. And I kind of, I feel like he stuck it out there, man, even in all this bad mojo. And then he gets
Bad football. You ain't even got to call it mojo. It's just bad football.
so I mean, it's probably better for him that he gets out and gets to play somewhere else since maybe a winning team. I hope for Miles Jack. I like him
And you
and
never know. He might have wanted
I
to
don't know.
leave too, and they might have said, "Yeah, okay."
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't feel like Jacksonville got much better with this pickup. So I'm gonna just go ahead and call it a D. It's a lot of money for not much of an improvement, in my opinion.
Trying to look up. Yeah, their stats were fairly similar.
I mean, but then again, Atlanta was a bad defense too. So
Yep, yep. Foye did have 3 picks last year. So 5 over the last 2 seasons. Maybe he's better in coverage than Miles is. I don't know. But all right, so the next one, moving on. Hassan Reddick, 27 years old, 45 mil over 3 years, 30 guaranteed, goes from Carolina to Philadelphia.
I like this pick for Philly. I don't like this pick as a Cowboys fan. I mean, I think Reddick's he's definitely a disruptor. You know what I mean? He's gonna make plays in your backfield and make you know about where he's lining up every play for sure. I I probably go with a B on this pickup, man.
So I'm trying to pull up his numbers here. So 11 sacks last year for Carolina, 12 and a half the year before for Arizona. One, 4, 2.5 the 3 years prior to that. So I guess that kind of shows he's more than a 1 year wonder. He's got 2 years in. Started all 16 games last year, so he's healthy. I mean that's a pretty good signing, I think. Like for not very much.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at too, man. Basically got him what we got DeMarcus Lawrence for.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good signing, man. I don't think he's a world beater, so I'm not going to give it an A. I give him a B though. Like Hassan Reddick's not going to like put you in the Super Bowl, or not having him's not going to keep you out. You know, like I don't think he's that kind of game changer. But he's a good player, and at 15 a year, that's more than Randy Gregory got.
And Fletcher Cox needs some help on the defensive line for the
Yep, yep.
Eagles.
All right, so we got a bunch here. Let's fly through a few. Just hit me with a grade. I'll read you the numbers and the age, and you hit me with a grade. Larry Ogunjobi. How do you know how to say his name? The D tackle.
Junbi,
Yeah,
yeah.
the D tackle from Cincinnati, 27. Chicago signed him 3 years, 40 mil, 26 guaranteed. So that's 13 and a half a year. Give me a grade.
C.
C, yeah, I'm good with a C on that. I think that it's a space filler at a position of need for them. He'll probably play the 3 tech for them, which they need. Um, Charvarius Ward, corner from Kansas City, 26, goes from Kansas City to San Francisco. 3 years, 40 mil, 26 guaranteed, 13 and a half a year.
I give him a B, bro. San Francisco's always doing weird stuff with their defense, man. Like it seems like it's always a revolving door, man. It's never the same. Fred Warner's the constant, bro, and everybody else just kind of, you know what I mean? Everybody kind of plays their role, bro.
Yeah, I'll give him a C, man. Like I don't think Ward is special. They're paying him a good amount of money, but not a crazy amount of money. They'll have a rookie. They'll be down to a quarterback on a rookie deal too, so they need to maximize the potential there too. So I'm okay with it. It's just an average signing. Same with the Chicago's D tackle, Laken Tomlinson, guard from San Francisco to the Jets, 40 mil, 27 guaranteed, 13 and a third a year, 30 years old.
I don't know if anything can help the Jets. But I'm all right with this signing, man. You got to protect the quarterback, man. And if Zach Wilson's going to be it for you, man, put a line in front of him and say, "Hey, bud, this is it. Go do it or don't." You know what I mean? Show me.
Yep.
So I'm okay with this signing, bro. I'd probably go B on this.
Gregarious, give me some grades in the chat right now for some of these free agent signings. What you think of them? We're going through and just grading them real quick. Let me know what you think. So Laken Tomlinson, Roll Tide, was a beast for us. It's a lot of money for a guy that's an average guard. I think. I feel like they could have done better for $3 million more a year. They could have gotten Scherf. They could have gotten Kappa from Tampa Bay, Kappa or however you say his name, for a lot less. Better player, I think. I don't see it. That Daniels from Chicago that went to Pittsburgh, I feel like is a better guard, much younger for a lot less money. I'm not a fan. I'll give it a D, and the only reason it's not an F is because he went to Alabama. And here's the one we were talking about earlier. Zadarius Smith to Baltimore, 35. We don't have the guaranteed numbers in for him yet. This just happened right before we're recording this. So $35 million a year. That's $35 million a year. He wishes. $35 million over 4 years. 9.7 or 8.7 a year. Hit me with a grade.
A.
You're gonna give him an A. 29 years old.
I think that's not a lot of money for a player who can be a difference maker.
He's pretty good.
I like Zadarius, man. I think he's a hell of a player that goes sideline to sideline and can be a leader on that defense. I think it's a great pickup for Baltimore, and that goes back to the same thing, man. Help your defense out so Lamar doesn't got to run around 40 times a game and get hit 25 of them. You know
right.
What I mean?
Gregarious says A minus. I'll give it a B just because I don't think that he's not Von Miller. He's never been as good as Von Miller, Chandler Jones. I'd probably say that he's about as good as Hassan Reddick, and they got him for a lot less than Hassan Reddick, but he's older than Hassan Reddick. So, I don't think that it's a Super Bowl winning signing, which I'll maintain the A's for probably, or at least A's. I'll say A's are for signings that make a lot of sense, like Jacksonville signings. Like they made sense for that team at that time. So it's a good signing, not a great one to me. So Alex Kappa, who we talked about, Tampa Bay to Cincinnati, 35 mil, 8.7 a year, 11 guaranteed of that 35 mil. Give me a grade.
Go C here, man.
Yeah.
I like the guard, man. I like the pickup. I just CB in that range.
So
I'll go B minus.
He's 27 years old, experienced starter from Tampa Bay who's gone deep in the playoffs. I like this signing. I don't think he's like a world beater or anything. He's not like going to be Zach Martin out there for people, but it's a good signing, and they pay. he's dirt cheap, 8.7 a year for a quality guard with that kind of experience. Moneyman says the Ward signing was great for us. He can tackle one-on-one, a man corner number one, completion percentage allowed, 40% passer rating versus him, 52.5 yards per carry or per target. Wait, I'm reading this backwards. At yards per target, third, 4.6. So he's saying that he likes going back to the Charvarius Ward signing for San Francisco.
I'm not. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
It's a good signing. Money, do you think that signing puts you guys in the Super Bowl? Like I gave it a B. Like I thought it's a good signing for you guys. Like I don't feel like he's Deion Sanders out there or anything. And you guys paid him a good amount. So I give it a B. I give that signing a B. Gregarious
yeah,
says a B for Kappa for Tampa Bay.
yeah. Like I said, I'm in the B C range. I like it. I just
Money says that they got to worry about quarterback to get to the Super Bowl for San Francisco. That is absolutely true. And no D line. So DJ Reed goes for next one. DJ Reed's 25, going from Seattle to the Jets, 33 million. We don't have a guaranteed number on him, but that's 11 a year. Let's go rapid fire here. We've been talking for a while. What do you think?
I'm gonna go C here, and this mainly being
He's a
because
Jet.
they lost Marcus May, and this is basically who they got. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm all right with that. I think it's a solid signing. I don't think it's a great signing either way. I think he's a solid starter type signing.
yeah,
Justin Reed going from DJ Reed to Justin Reed, safety from Houston to Kansas City, 25 years old, 31.5 million, 20 guaranteed at signing. That's hold on, I just missed that's 10.5 a year for Justin Reed going to Kansas City.
where did he sign? I'm
Kansas City.
sorry.
He's basically your Tyrann Mathieu replacement.
Gotcha. Yeah, I like this pickup, man. He's a young, solid player, and this goes back to one of the better players on a bad team. I think he was a better player on a bad
Yeah,
team.
I like Justin Reed. I like Tyrann Mathieu better. Could they have gotten Tyrann Mathieu for that same price? That would be the question that would determine my grade. I give it a C2. It's a solid. He's a solid starter. You know, I don't really.
I think Matthew's overrated, man, and it's just maybe me, but I've been thinking this for like 3 years now, and I'm like, bro, every time I watch this guy, he's either making a bonehead play or not making the play, and it just seems like every time I watch him, that's been his
So
mo.
tweet
I don't know, maybe
money's
it's
bringing
me.
up hard feelings here. We got to address real quick. Max says he missed the grade for Randy Gregory for Denver.
Oh, I give it an F for the Cowboys, and I said a B for the Broncos. Mainly being because Randy Gregory's played one full season in his 6 years in the league, and you know, uh, it's when he's been on the field for that 1 year, he's been solid though. But it's kind of a wild card, man. What are you going to get with
I
the
don't want to
guy?
talk about it. So let's go on to Justin Reed. I give a C, solid starter signing. Like I don't think he's a game changer. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Randy Gregory. It hurts my feelings. So next one, we'll jump through these real quick. Just give me a grade, and then we'll get on to some gaming. Foley Fatukasi from the Jets to Jacksonville, 30 mil, 20 guaranteed. Another one of those Jacksonville signings.
I don't, bro. I don't even know who that is. I'm not even gonna lie to
He's a big boy. He's a good
you.
signing, and they'll pair him up with who was the other guy they signed? No, I'm trying to remember.
In
Yeah, they
Jacksonville,
signed another D lineman. Trying to remember who it was. Anyway, uh, yeah, it's a C. They're not paying him much. He's a space filler. Gregarious gives him a B. DJ Jones, D tackle from Denver. Oh, I skipped Russell Gage. Russell Gage is a good one. 26. Wide receiver from Atlanta going to Tampa Bay. 30 mil, 20 mil guaranteed.
I think that would be good for Russell Gage going to catch passes from Tom Brady. I think Matt Ryan's done, and I just saw before we came on that the Falcons were looking at Deshaun Watson was visiting the Falcons.
Yeah, he's one of the teams that they're apparently they've all agreed, or Houston's agreed to whatever it is these teams are offering for him, and it's kind of his choice which one he wants, is what I was reading. But Russell grade. What's the grade for Gage? Russell grade.
I give it a C, man. That's one of those. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference maker.
Yep,
You
I
know,
give it an A, and
Mike got,
mostly because I think Tom Brady. He's a great receiver for Tom Brady, man.
that's
I
true.
think he's a
That's
very
true.
Tom Brady friendly wide receiver. Let me jump around here. We're kind of in the middle of like a bunch of the same price guys. We got Marcus May, right? And funny story, I coached against Marcus May he's from Vieira, Florida. Marcus May from the Jets to New Orleans, 28 million, 15 guaranteed. He basically replaces Marcus Williams. Give me a
All
grade.
right. Uh, B. I like Marcus May. I think he's a solid player. I think he's a good football player. Um, I like him better than Williams. I think the Saints kind of upgraded here, so I'm going to go B.
The Falcons' biggest mistake is letting Shanahan walk and not naming him head coach. Atlanta has him in the same. You're absolutely right. Gage, A.
You're not.
Toxic Grape gives Gage an A. Gregarious gives them an A. I just feel like he's a very Tom Brady friendly wide receiver. All right, so let's jump down a few. Let's skip over these offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are always good signings, right? What about CJ Azuma from Cincinnati going to the Jets? $24 million over
Yeah.
3 years, 15 guaranteed.
Bro, I give that a solid B, bro. B plus. I think if you're setting your feet, digging in with Zach Wilson, bro, you got to give the guy some help and then tell him, hey, buddy, this is your show. Prove it or lose it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I give
So
it an A signing for the amount of money isn't much, and they have to get him weapons. So, like I said, A's go to teams that I see what they're doing and it makes sense. Not a lot of risk there. You see what he can do. He already made a young quarterback look good. Like he's already used to playing with that. I like it. And money says anyone going to the Jets is going to a shit show. Absolutely agree.
you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But I mean, at the same time, you got to start somewhere and start
Yep,
building that team up.
absolutely.
See what you got, man. You drafted a quarterback early. You got to see what you got in him. Give him some weapons and an O line and give him a season or two, and then say hit the road if he's not
Yep.
it. You
Sounds like
know,
you're saying exactly. You see what they're trying to do, and that signing makes sense. Toxic says Jets needed a tight end, and that's a solid one. Moneyman says Wilson like a knockoff Jay Cutler. uh, uh,
bro. Somebody's got to get the Jay Cutler with a cigarette in his mouth. You got to put that one in here.
Miles. Well, we can talk about that one. Toxic says Miles Jack to Pittsburgh. Let me see. Where's the Let me pull up his numbers
We
real
were
quick.
just talking about Miles Jack in
Yeah,
Jacksonville, and I was saying, man, I think Jack is a solid player.
26.
I think
26, 15 over 2 years. So that's 7.5 a year. I don't have the guaranteed. If somebody has the guarantee, they can pop it in chat and I'll say that. So what are you giving that?
bro, I give this a solid B. I think Jack's a hell of a football player. I think he was the best player on a bad football team in Jacksonville, and he can get after the passer. He can draw back and cover. I think he's a 3-down linebacker. I think they're getting a good player in Jack. Man, I give it a solid B, B plus.
Yeah. Yeah, for everything I said about Miles before, and I think that it's worth mentioning that maybe he did want out of Jacksonville, and they granted him that,
Maybe he had enough, bro. He's been there his whole career, bro, and never
and
can win.
sucked.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yep.
mean? Like I said, being the best player on a bad defense. He had that year. They had good corners with Bouye and I forget the other one they had there for a year or two. But you know, they've had solid defenses a couple of years straight, bro, and their offense is
Hey,
always
that
sucked.
other guy
You
you're
know what I
trying to
mean?
think of just won the Super Bowl. If you need a little hint to remind you who that other corner was.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
uh, little Jalen Ramsey in there. I know it's hard to remember that he played for Jacksonville, and they actually were pretty good for a year when he was there.
That's what I'm saying. Jack, Bouye, Jalen, yeah, yeah.
Brian Flores will be coaching him. Oh, that's right. You guys got him to coach your linebackers, so him coaching Miles Jack. Yeah, that's big, man. I'm not against that signing at all. We talked about Miles. I maybe sounded negative towards him just because uh, I liked the guy that Jacksonville signed to replace him. but I don't think that's a bad sign.
Falcons.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad signing for them at all. Let's see who else on this list we want to talk about. We got if there's any free agents you want to talk about, pop it in the chat. We'll see if we can get a grade for them because there's a bunch, and I'm just going to kind of jump around here. Let's talk about Zay Jones going to Jacksonville. This is another one of the Jacksonville signings that I was talking about earlier. Wide receiver from Vegas, 26, signed for 14. I lost it. 14. Looks like 14 guaranteed. So they guaranteed the whole contract. 2 years, 14. Let me get back. I'm sorry. 3 years, 24 million, 14 guaranteed, 8 million a year.
I'm all right with that, bro. I give that a B, and that goes back to getting your young quarterback weapons, man. You've got to get him people who can go out and prove that they can try to win football games. I feel like he did that in Vegas. You know, he caught clutch passes. I know he torched Dallas in that Thanksgiving Day game. I mean,
Yeah,
I give it a solid B, bro. I think he can be a playmaker. And you got to get your young quarterback weapons.
you got to try.
I think
You got to
Jacksonville.
try.
I think Jacksonville is going to be a lot better if they can stay healthy. They get Etienne back, Sunshine. You know, they signed a couple receivers in Kirk and
So
him.
I saw this asked
So
on another show today, and it was, are these signings going to make Jacksonville better? And I was like, well, they can't get any freaking worse, man. So like,
right.
getting NFL
So
talent
this,
is good. They're trying. You see the point in what they're doing. They're not just signing guys willy nilly. I like the signing. So you got Christian Kirk, you got Zay Jones. Like if that were my wide receiver core, I'd be scared. I feel like if they went out and got like a Jameson Williams from Alabama or Olave from Ohio State, a number one, a guy you hope is a number one, that those two could pair with him
mm-hmm.
and turn into a good trio. I hope that they're not sending them two out there and being like, "Go get him, kid," to Sunshine.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, this receiver class is deep. So I mean, even if they don't get one of those top guys, man,
Yeah.
I feel like you can get starters in second, third
So let's
round.
jump to another wide receiver, Cedric Wilson, leaving Dallas, going to Miami. 26 years old, signed for 22 mil over 3 years, 12.7 guaranteed.
I give this an A, and we're Cowboys fans. I've watched a lot of Cedric Wilson, and bro, the dude can play. He just never got on the field with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb. Like, dude's special teams ace. You put him on a special teams unit, he's making every tackle. Like, he was a quarterback in college and high school. Like, he can throw the ball on end arounds. I think he's a solid player, bro. I think he can do anything you ask him to do. He can play the slot. He can line up outside. You know, he filled in this year when Amari Cooper was hurt. Gallup was hurt. You know, and we didn't miss a beat, bro. And as a matter of fact, I think we were better with Cedric Wilson in the lineup over Michael
Money
Gallup.
says Dallas definitely wouldn't have traded Cooper if they knew Wilson wouldn't resign. See, I think you're right, and that's my even before I read that money, I was thinking, did the Cowboys have a chance to match this and didn't? Like
Right.
that 3 years, 22 million, 12 guaranteed. That's 7.3 a year. Like, did they have a chance to match that and said, "Nah, we're good. We're gonna roll with Malik Wilson." It's Malik Wilson, right? Malik who?
Bro, maybe the Cowboys saw these wide receivers run their 40s, bro.
See ya.
I'm saying this wide receiver class is deep, and if you're going to pay, bro, you can get one of these cheap guys over here in the draft for pennies compared to paying this dude millions. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Get a rookie contract on one of these lightning fast receivers, bro, and just see what happens, man.
So I agree with that. And then I'll
I mean,
also
Cedric
say though
Wilson,
that like I feel like we're ready to win now. And like when you draft a wide receiver to play now, same thing I said for Jacksonville when you said that they should have drafted somebody instead of signing Christian
right,
Kirk is that like if you're ready to win now, right? And Jacksonville by no means is, but they have to have somebody right now. If you need somebody right
right.
now, like that might not be the way I'd want to go.
See, I don't know, man. I feel like wide receivers can come in and be difference makers. It hasn't happened often. Wide receivers usually don't step in year one and make a huge splash, but I feel like Go out there and do what you've done your whole life, man. Just go catch passes.
There is not a
Everything
Jamar Chase
running.
every year in the draft. I will say that.
You're not wrong.
He made it look hella easy.
So I don't know, man. I just feel like it's a money thing. I feel like you can pick up one of these young receivers. You've already got two that you're paying, and Gallup and Lamb's going to get paid, and I, it sucks for Dallas. Great pickup for Miami, but I mean, is Cedric Wilson going to win you a Super Bowl?
He might be, like, if you were close. I mean, he's not going to win them a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but like I feel like he could be that player to add on. Like he's good. Like if he were to go somewhere like Kansas City, like could he put them over the
Right.
edge to a Super? Maybe. I don't know. But Toxic says unless they're going to replace him in the draft, so he agrees with Tweet. Like maybe we already have plans to draft somebody to replace him.
I mean, the combine happened before that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So everybody saw these receivers running 4.2s and low 4.3s, man. Like speed kills,
Yeah,
man.
Money says there's something going on in Dallas we don't know about. So maybe we have plans to. Maybe we know that Cole Beasley's about to get released, and we want Cole Beasley. And
Isn't he a free agent?
I don't think so. I think he's still under contract. I think the rumors were that he was going to be a cap casualty, but it hasn't happened yet.
That's right. That's right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it right now. Oh, Bills grant Cole Beasley permission to seek a trade. He hasn't been traded yet, so that usually means he's going to get cut at some point. So maybe that is the plan. Maybe we're already talking to Cole Beasley, and we're like, hey, just hang out and get cut. And we'll put you in the slot.
Man. Cole Beasley didn't have a whole bunch of nice things to say about Dallas when he left either. So I don't know.
So was it about Dallas or was it a Jason Garrett thing? Because a lot of players leave. Like Des Bryant didn't have a lot of nice things to say either, and I still love me some Des Bryant.
Right. But is Jerry Jones bringing Des Bryant back to play wide receiver?
No, absolutely not. Yeah. But all right, so Toxic says Zeke heading to Green Bay for Devontae. I don't think so. Money says, LL, yeah, right. Nobody trading Zeke for Zeke's washed ass. I agree. Definitely not.
Cowboys are going to have to live with that contract.
Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about one more player tweet. We've been talking for a while now. I'm trying to keep it moving. One more player I want to talk about, and this will ring home for Toxic in the chat. Let's talk about Mitch Trubisky. And I'll preface that by saying, if you guys have been watching the stream and watching us talk about things, we're talking about quarterbacks, and my opinion was that Mitch Trubisky was the best quarterback out there, draft or free agency, in a terrible class of both. So, like, I wasn't saying Mitch Trubisky, like, is some great quarterback and, like, everybody should be dying to sign him like they are Aaron Rodgers. I'm saying that all the free agents suck. All the draft prospects, I don't think any are ready to play now. And Pittsburgh signed him. Let me give you the numbers before you talk here. 2 years, 14 mil, 7.1. I don't have the guarantees on it.
Yeah, man, I like this signing for Pittsburgh. I think any quarterback who could have a winning record under Nagy is got to be a good quarterback, right?
Sure. I mean, that's the hope, right? That hopefully Nagy is the reason he wasn't good, right?
I think Trubisky was in a bad situation, bro, and I don't think Chicago really did much to help him. Like, who running backs? They had Jordan Howard, right, for a year or
David
two.
Montgomery. David Montgomery's pretty good. But I'd say he's a top 10, 15 running back in the league.
And you had Allen Robinson, who's solid.
Who they game planned out of the offense, supposedly.
And the tight end who really didn't get the ball much. You know, I don't think they did Trubisky any favors, and they didn't set him up to win there. So I think it'll be good for Pittsburgh and Trubisky. You know, Trubisky will get a fresh start and show he can play. And I think Tomlin's a good coach, man. I think it'll be good for both of them.
Well, Toxic agrees with you there. He says he thinks under Tomlin, Mitch will be a solid quarterback. Money suggests we watch the Colin Coward segment. I might check it out after the stream on Mitch. Did he just sum it up for me, Money? Did he agree that it was a good signing? Does he think it's a terrible signing? And if you guys have never heard of Money, he's a known hater, especially of Lamar Jackson. So you got to take his hate with a grain of rice. That
Hey, so
was a good one. It was a good
so
one.
one
So
more
Money,
one
Money, you think it's sorry, Tweet. Money,
go
you
ahead.
think it's a good signing or a bad signing? Give me a grade on it. Sorry, Tweet. Go ahead, man.
So one more signing that we didn't talk about. It's a pretty big deal. Is Khalil Mack to the Chargers.
So that was a trade, but we can absolutely grade trades as well.
Yeah.
What I mean, go ahead. What do you got to say
I,
about it?
I don't even really know what the trade was, to be honest with you. The only thing I saw was Khalil Mack to the Chargers. That's why I thought it was a signing. I'm like, damn. So they just got J.C. Jackson. You still got Bosa. I said, now you got Khalil Mack on the other side of Bosa. Like that's pretty formidable defense, and I would give that an A for the simple fact, bro. You've got Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, you know, Derek Carr. Derek Carr's still pretty good, but you got to get after the quarterback, man. I like what they're doing
So they
there.
got the
You
Chargers gave up
James,
2 and a 6 for Mac.
yeah, for one of the better ends. Who's so I like it.
Yeah, if Khalil Mack could stay healthy, it's a great trade. Great trade. I would have probably made it too if we had cap space. I mean, Mack's contract is huge, and we'll go back to something I've said over and over now. They have a rookie quarterback contract, and you got to fire everything you can while you've got that rookie quarterback contract going. Like you have to get it now. So I'm totally okay with it from their point of view. I also don't think it's a bad deal for the Bears. Get a 2nd and 6th out of a guy that you think is on a downswing. If he is on a downswing, like I think that's a good move for them. And they're obviously in a rebuild, so getting more draft picks in the rebuild is good too.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a loser in that trade. If Khalil Mack can be healthy and Bosa can be healthy, it's great for the Chargers, and that's going to be nasty. 2 big ifs though, because those are 2 guys that can't stay healthy regularly. Toxic says, I think Pitt lets Juju walk and signs A-Rob and maybe drafts a wide receiver. That's Allen Robinson. I don't like Juju, so you don't even got to throw the rest of that in there, and I like the idea of Toxic. I've heard rumors of the Cowboys being interested in Juju. I would not want that. I think Juju's a me player, and I don't want me players. What do you think, Tweet?
I don't think if you were going to sign Juju, you should have just re-signed Cedric Wilson.
Yeah, I like Cedric Wilson more. I would have signed him over Juju. I know Juju had the 1 year that was good, so that he seems like he's better, but I don't know. I don't see it. He said, did y'all touch on Von Miller, Chandler Jones, and J.C. Jackson?
We did.
Von Miller, we both did not like that, the amount of money involved with that.
Mainly because of the $120 million contract.
Yeah. I know they said it's backloaded, but it's still 45 guaranteed for a 33-year-old player. That's just it's too much. I don't like the signing. Maybe it works out for him. Who knows?
Well, here's my thing. So being in Denver, he was an aging player, right? Hurt, kind of always the guy getting double teams. He went to LA and was able to not get double teamed because they have a guy named Aaron Donald, who's probably the best player in football right now. And he could go one-on-one and get to the quarterback, especially in the playoffs, because they kept him fresh all year. And now here he is going to Buffalo, where he's probably going to get those double teams again, right? So I don't really like this signing for Buffalo, man. I think it's a lot of money for an old player who I don't think is going to be as good as he was in LA.
And I think exactly the same sentiment on Chandler Jones. Is he's an aging player, getting paid a lot of money, a lot less than Von Miller, but still an aging player on the downswing. I don't like signing players on a downswing to big contracts. J.C. Jackson's the last one. I do like this signing, and we talked about this on our last. That my only worry is that those New England corners, when they leave there, are never any good. So that's my concern with it.
I like this signing. J.C. Jackson had a great year last year. I think somebody's got to pay the guy. I mean, his market's there, so if you want him, you got to pay for him. And to put him with the pass rushers you just got, if they can stay healthy, plus Derwin James back there, I think your defense looks a lot scarier than it did last year. And that's not to say the Chargers had a bad defense
Yeah,
last year.
Jones has Crosby on the other side, so that works for him. Yeah, he definitely. Tweet touched on that when we were discussing it. He had a second threat out there, and Juju is a cancer. I think that's a good place to leave off on. Juju is a cancer, and that's why I don't want him on my team if I'm building a team. But I think that's a good place to leave off on. We'll talk about some more next time. I'm sure there'll be more free agent signings. Tweet, any last words?
Go Cowboys. Go sign
Anybody do something.
nobody else. Bro, I don't think there's anybody really else out there that I want, bro. Like, go make something happen in the draft. I'm glad the Dolphins took Connor Williams, and the Cowboys are going to get a comp pick for that.
A fifth, so I hear. But all right.
So we gave away Connor Williams for a fifth. So basically, it was what we gave Amari Cooper away.
Oh man, when you put it like that, it hurts. But all right, guys, check out our other videos. See ya.